The 2026 Kia Seltos has arrived, and boy, do we have some changes.
Mostly the price.
It's just the price.
On every model.
But hey, don't click off this video. In today's video, Charlotte and I are going to give you a full walkthrough of everything you need to know about the Kia Seltos. And that's whether it's a 2024, 2025, or 2026.
Perfect.
Because they're all the same. Now, today we have the LX all-wheel drive model, which will share what makes the difference between the all-wheel drive and the model below it, but we'll also kind of touch on some other aspects of the Kia Seltos as well too.
Definitely, and the best part is these videos are done completely live, so if you guys have questions about either the 2026 LX all-wheel drive Sorento or any of the other ones in the lineup and what features are going to be included in them, make sure you leave it in the live chat or as a regular comment down below. We do monitor those and would love to answer if you have any questions.
And we'll first start off with the one and only change, and that is the price point. So the MSRP of the 2025 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive is, or sorry, 2026?
$27,845. So that's a $150 price increase from what we've seen previously. Today is also Monday, which means it's Misinformation Monday, woo-woo, which means right after this live video, if you're with us today, come and join us. We're going to do a sit-down Q&A, so if you have more questions about anything in the Kia Hyundai lineup, personal, or any automotive stuff, tune into that after this video.
All right, let's get into it. So we'll first start off with the exterior walkthrough of the vehicle. I'll talk about the powertrain specifications for both the naturally aspirated model of the Kia Seltos, but also the turbocharged model. First, let me get the lights on. Now, the LX front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models of the Kia Seltos will be the only trim levels, and I don't have the key with me right now.
We were really prepared today.
Will be the only trim levels that have halogen lights. So there is a mix of LEDs and halogens on these models. However, everything above the LX trims will feature full LEDs. All right. Now we got those lights on. Let's check it out. Now, even on the LX model, you'll see that we also have the inclusion of fog lamps. So your fog lamps will be positioned lower in the front end of the vehicle. And then for your main headlight, we have our halogen bulbs. I lied when I said a mix of daytime running lights that are LEDs. That is only on the EX models.
We were testing you guys.
We're testing, yeah. Now for the rest of the front end, we do have some nice design cues. So things such as a satin chrome finish surrounding your matte black grille, with a little bit of that satin chrome actually peering in towards the center. Your Kia emblem up on the hood is finished in a low-profile brushed aluminum tone, which I think really looks good on this car. I mean, we got a lot of matte black, a lot of satin chrome. The brushed aluminum blends in perfectly, gives it an extra pop of color, looks good with whatever exterior paint you choose. Now, speaking of exterior paint, today we have Pluton Blue. So Pluton Blue was introduced, I believe, 2 years ago for the Kia Seltos. It is a very, very lightly metallic paint, so it looks pretty solid in most light. However, if you do get a nice sunshine, so natural lighting, not artificial, you will pick up a little bit more sparkle in the paint. When it comes in terms of tech and safety on this vehicle, we do have a forward collision avoidance system, which is a fantastic safety function, as well as a lane keep and lane follow assist. Now we'll take a look at the wheels. Both the LX front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and EX models will share the same 17-inch alloy. So this is what we're looking at in a nice medium gray finish. It is a metallic paint as well for your alloys. We also have a Solus, a Kumo Solus, all-season tire standard with their vehicles. Now, this particular model is equipped with all-wheel drive. The Kia Seltos does feature a locking differential button in the driver's area, so right next to your gear shift. That will put your all-wheel drive split at a 50-50, which is fantastic if you are tackling any sort of unplowed driveway or rough weather condition. The vehicle can certainly handle it. Now, in regular operation, not with your locking differential on, the vehicle will still utilize a smart all-wheel drive system, which essentially means the vehicle will primarily be in front-wheel drive if the weather is normal and the pavement is dry. However, if you do turn onto a gravel road, mud road, the vehicle will redistribute itself automatically. So it is a very smart all-wheel drive system. In terms of fuel efficiency, the vehicle is rated at 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers with a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine. And that makes me realize that I forgot to pop open the hood and talk powertrain to you guys. So, pardon me
Got
while
distracted with the lights.
Exactly. Pardon me while I come around and pop the hood. Now, today's model, we have a 2-liter inline 4. AC's cranked all the way.
Oh, thank you.
So a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder gas engine. Now, this powertrain is equipped on the LX model all the way up to the EX Premium. all of which will share the same 147 horsepower with 132 pound-feet of torque and a fuel efficiency rating of 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers combined. If that's not enough guts for you, there is a turbocharged option on the Kia Seltos. It's available on the SX and X-Line models here in Canada. That will feature a 1.6-liter turbo gasoline direct injection that produces 195 horsepower with 195 pound-feet of torque to match. For naturally aspirated models, you will get an IVT transmission, which stands for Intelligent Variable Transmission. Essentially, it is a very smooth shifting, regular transmission. It operates the same way an automatic would, except it doesn't actually have gear shift ratios. They are simulated. So while it does give you that smooth shifting experience, you will find a perfect gear for whatever kind of driving you are doing. Contrary to regular CVTs, things that you'll find in Nissan, Subarus, that kind of thing, this vehicle is mechanically different and it does feel a little bit more realistic, improving on things like those droning sounds or the reluctantness to shift. The CVT, the IVT on this car is much more intelligent. All right, we already spoke about wheels, so let's just quickly take a look at our mirrors. We have a turn signal indicator on our mirror itself, on the housing, as well as body color with a little bit of matte black plastic. On the actual mirrored portion, you'll see we do have blind spot detection integrated into the car. That will illuminate your window or mirror icons if there's a vehicle in your left or right blind spot, but also provide a beep as audible feedback to you as the driver in case there is ever a risk of an impact with a vehicle in your blind spots. The vehicle does also have the capability of mitigating collisions there, as well as oncoming collisions from the front thanks to the forward collision avoidance system. For your windows, we have our belt line finished in just a regular matte black plastic, as well as black plastic for your pillars. These are scratch resistant, so fear not. A lot of vehicles that have this piano black, on the other hand, look nice and shiny when they're new, but over time, especially in high touch areas, do get really scratched up. So this will definitely look better in the long run. In terms of our roof rails, we do have our nice flush style, so they are usable if you choose to put any rooftop storage on your Kia Seltos. Then we have a small gloss black shark fin antenna up on our roof. For the rear end of the vehicle, I think Kia did a fantastic job of keeping things simple yet modern. So we have our light bar expanding all the way across the back end of the vehicle with the actual light stopping there. And then up at the top, we have our high mounted stop lamp with a little bit of gloss black and body color for our rear spoiler. Your rear wiper is right over here. And then your backup camera is just underneath the eye in Kia. You may notice our special Brantford Kia plate frames. That is because Brantford Kia is a real dealership where Charlotte and I really do work, and we're happy to sell you a vehicle if you live anywhere in the Ontario area, region, province. Right, there you go. Let's open up the lift gate. So we get a regular hydraulic lift gate on the LX model. If you would prefer a power lift gate, that starts on the EX Premium. However, cargo space will remain the same across the entire Seltos lineup. You have the ability to easily knock down these rear seats if you need as much cargo as possible, thanks to the shoulder latches. Easier to lift off if you are going from the passenger side doors, but you can make it work from back here too. Each seat will have a car seat top tether, and they do fold down in a 60-40 split. That again will be the same on all models. Underneath the floorboard, you do actually get a compact spare tire, something that is quite rare on a compact SUV. So great peace of mind knowing you do have a spare with you at all times, and there's still plenty of space surrounding the spare. So blankets, first aid kit. Probably don't want to think about blankets today considering it is a heat wave here in Ontario, but wintertime, got you covered. All right, let's give this a close. I'll point out the 4X badge just on the lower right-hand side. Now that will be exclusive to all-wheel drive models of the Kia Seltos. So if you are shopping for front-wheel drive, everything else will be aesthetically the same except for that emblem. Coming up to the fuel door, there is a 50-liter tank on all trim levels of the Kia Seltos, which is fairly affordable to fill. Regardless of if you're getting straight naturally aspirated or turbo, regular octane grade is fine, so you can just put regular fuel in the car. It will not hurt you at the gas tank. Now that sums up our exterior walkthrough of the Kia Seltos. Charlotte's going to take you guys on a tour of the inside and familiarize yourself with the cabin.
All right, so let's take a look on the inside and see what's different. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. I'll have Gabby actually just give a quick pan of the cabin that you guys can see it, get a look at everything that we have on the interior. But in case you missed it, yes, this is a true carryover model. We're not seeing any interior or exterior differences, and this is going to be our introductory trim for those of you who may have missed it and may just be clicking on the video now. So we're going to walk through what we've got here and then also some of the different options depending on which trim it is that you are thinking about. And if you have specific feature questions, let us know. Now, a general Seltos thing that I'll talk about just to get out of the way is the fact that, number one, I have driven a Kia Seltos. I drove it for a little over a year. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And one of the reasons why I think this vehicle is so fantastic is because it's very much like its discontinued little sister, the Kia Soul, where it's still relatively compact, so easy for city driving and parking, but you still have a really nice and higher ride height than you would in something, in something like the Soul, but then also in anything that may be a little bit smaller. So this vehicle really is fantastic. It's going to fit a multitude of different lifestyles because it is a 5-seater and you have all of that cargo capacity. So the Kia Seltos really is a great choice if you don't know what your life is going to look like in the next couple years, but you want to make the investment of a new vehicle. So over here, speaker design. I've always loved that they do a funky speaker design, even on the introductory trim. I think it's fantastic. And we have 6 of our regular in-house speakers in this vehicle. Electronically controlled mirrors with a one-touch and obstacle detecting driver's window. Your seat on this trim, it is going to be manual. You have 6-way manual adjustable, but that includes your height and then of course your backrest. And if you couldn't tell when Gabby gave that pan, these seats are going to be cloth. Over here is a brightness adjuster. You have idle stop and go, which is that feature which will temporarily shut off the engine when you bring it to a full and complete stop. However, this is only available on the 2-liter. It's deleted on the turbo. Also, if you are thinking and you're like, hey, there's a button there, what could that be used for? On higher trims, we actually have the option for heads-up display, which is one of a lot of people's favorite features. Traction control as well. That's there.
That's one of my favorites.
I know, I love that. It comes standard. All right, do you want to come around?
For sure. All right, another quick look at the front end. And again, if LEDs are a must for you, one trim level up when you get into the EX territory, our lights will then become LEDs. There you can see our hazard lights on, so our indicators both on the front as well as our mirrors. So nice to have the side marker indicators. That is oftentimes not a standard function on cars. Then Charlotte just turned off the hazards, but maybe you should turn them back on. There we go. So our indicator lights on the rear are mounted at a perfectly visible location. They are not placed too low on the car, so very good all around. All right, let's hop in.
Sorry, I only just heard you.
That's okay.
All right, so when it comes to some more comfort features, I am happy to say that these 2 main seats are going to be heated, so perfect for days not like today, but for the opposite when it's negative 30 degrees instead of 30 degrees today, Celsius. Steering wheel is just regular flat black plastic, and we still have a split between our driving and media controls, which is going to be standard across the Seltos lineup. Lighting stock and wiper stock, and then for our instrument cluster, we have a 4.2-inch digital display. So from here, you can see how the vehicle responds to you as the driver. You can access your driver's assistance settings when you have the 8-inch multimedia screen. And then also you can see the power distribution and your tire pressure. So again, this is the only screen that is going to change, but you do still have a digital speedometer and tachometer, and the available 10.25-inch screen is an option for the Seltos trims. Same thing with our multimedia screen. Standard, you get the 8-inch, which does give you the capacity for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I love how this display is, because this is really nice. I love that it's real buttons and dials and has symmetry, which just makes it, it's going to age a lot better, but also it's super functional, which is something I can really appreciate. Same thing with our climate control. You're not reinventing the wheel here. Manual when setting the temperature and also fan speed and fan direction. Air conditioning, which you definitely need for days like today. You have a spot for your phone, USB for connectivity or charging, USB-C, and a 12-volt, so you have all 3 options. And of course, the integrated drive modes, which Gabby spoke about on the exterior of the vehicle. Normal, sport, and smart. And I like how they change up the cluster theme too. Just a nice fun touch that we get even on the introductory trim. Rear gear shift, heated seats, which I mentioned, your downhill braking assist, and to manually engage that differential, you can simply press down. Rear handbrake as well. We've got cup holders, your center console, and then up top, you're just going to have some regular bulb lighting. Sunroof, of course, is an option for the Kia Seltos. Let's take a look at the second row.
Space reveal.
Space reveal. Will it be any different? No. It's
I
the
heard
same.
that they actually increased the rear seat capacity big time for the 2026 only.
The capacity of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now a 27-seater.
Just kidding,
Love
you guys.
that. It's still a 5-seater, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and the Kia Seltos has been doing really well for a long time. There's a reason it's a volume seller in Canada. So 5-seater, one thing I love right off the bat is, can you tell how wide this middle seat is? This is pretty much the same width as what we see for our 2 main seats, so that's really impressive. So even if you're sitting here, you're still gonna have a wide amount of space, which is also good for the shoulders, good for the legs. Good amount of leg space and headroom as well. Like I said, I have driven a Kia Seltos with the same size, and I've had passengers who are over 6'1" in the back seat and the front seat. I just probably wouldn't put them in the middle seat still. I like that our cloth seats still have a nice insert design, and we still have our speaker design included on the doors. But other than that, nothing too crazy back here. You have sets of lower latch anchors, so it is car seat compatible. And in terms of safety, you have 6 airbags in the vehicle.
Sweet. I don't think we'll have a Q&A really for this video, since we are doing Misinformation Monday right after this live stream. And we are at 16 minutes, so that could potentially be our shortest Seltos walkthrough ever.
Wow.
That is also because, you guys, not much has changed, but if you are shopping for a Kia Seltos, we're hoping that this video could at least show you around a little bit, help you see what you can expect in the Kia Seltos. And again, all of this is standard, so it only gets better from here. If there are certain must-haves you absolutely need in the Kia Seltos, I can pretty confidently say there is a trim level for that. Because we have so much versatility in our lineup, it's easy to find a trim that works for you.
It is. It's got, you know, turbocharged options. It's got naturally aspirated options. You've got front wheel drive. You've got all wheel drive. And throughout those, you're going to get the same amount of cargo space and capabilities really in seating capacity. It just depends on what features and what budget you want. So
I actually just had a customer of mine last week trade in his 2026 Kia Seltos SX for a 2025 Kia Seltos SX. And that was because he fell in love with the vehicle. Now, there were a couple technology differences between the 2022 and the 2025, so he was very happy about that. And another big change was in the turbo models, we used to have a dual clutch, and we now have a regular automatic. So even that, in regular day-to-day driving, it just really enhanced the ownership experience. So the car that he already loved got even better. So without making any major.
I did see a couple quick questions that I'll just point out really quick. Pratik asked rear AC vents. So no AC vents, but there is under the seat duct heating. So you are still getting some circulation back there, but no vents isolated to the center console. And colors are all gonna be the same. So Pluton blue, Neptune blue, black, gray, white.
Dark ocean blue.
Dark ocean blue.
Got
Why
two
I've got so
grays.
many blue options. Yeah. Lunar orange. Blair, that one's for you, as always.
And with that being said, should we end off today's video, Charlotte?
We should probably end off today's video, but again, stick around for Misinformation Monday. Let's answer some of your questions about the Kia and Hyundai product and anything else. Let's go.
All right, you guys, take care, and we'll see you in 10 minutes.
Bye.
Bye.